as you know, a reflection of BCTF or teachers or school districts, but I think people need to be aware that while all those teachers come into the system, in many cases there is no place to put said teachers. And there's no money to fund the things to house said teachers. So it's a win, but it comes at it creates a ripple that's not addressed. And I mean, I know you're aware and I'm aware, but it's that's a problem for sure.
So, and I think just to get, if you don't mind, just to answer your question, this is one of the charts that we've put together, and as we're trying to work through this, right? I think, and this is just a very basic analysis, right? So looking at things like what we can expect. Well, we don't expect capital and infrastructure. We don't expect teachers that, you know, and I've done a number of different focus groups with teachers around health and safety, and looking at the hygienic conditions in schools. And, you know, I got a phone call saying my son fell in the hallway because he slipped on something unmentionable because it hadn't been cleaned up, right? And he hurt his knee. But some of these things are issues because we have supports and services in place that are not teaching related. Custodial staff, secretarial staff, support staff, EA staff, teaching and learning assistants that are, et cetera. So that's not going to be addressed by that, and that will be requiring continued advocacy. We can expect changes to classroom size and composition. It's a great win, it's a fantastic win, and it's going to make a very, very important and big difference throughout our schools. But as you mentioned, it doesn't cover everything. So when we think about supports and materials and supplies, psycho-ed assessments, waiting lists, I'm trying to think, there's so many things, sensory equipment, materials, children waiting for FM systems through SET BC, you know, parents saying, my child is deaf and doesn't have an FM system, so can't participate. These things won't be addressed through the Supreme Court's decisions and the subsequent agreement, compliance in principle, as well as things like non-teaching related workload drivers around professional learning, curriculum. We have this imposition of this new, and the development, which many teachers from the BCTF participate in, a new curriculum, but no attendant resources. So we have and prep time, and how do teachers adapt and navigate a new curriculum? That's not part of this. And again, I didn't see it in the budget either, right? It's not in the budget. And then also, you know, again, the toll that teaching is taking. The teachers go into this. For those of you in the room who are teachers, thank you. This is a very thankless and difficult job, and we're hopeful that the restoration of this collective agreement provisions helps to tell us all that you were right? The government was wrong. The Supreme Court, the highest court in this land, said what the government did was wrong, it was illegal. And to restore the, you know, the faith that we have in our teachers, as you were doing the right thing all along for kids. But what is that going to mean for teacher guilt and demoralization? It's a legacy of 15 years of fighting. It's not going to be overcome. So we have all these material and non-material needs that are not going to be addressed. And so the advocacy of groups like PAN and FACE and DPACs and BCCPAC will be so essential to pushing this forward.